Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we delve into the emotional and transformative journey of several key characters in Port Charles. The fallout from recent revelations and confrontations sets the stage for new beginnings and possibly irreversible ends. Giovanni Gio Palmieri's emotional odyssey. Giovanni Gio Palmieri, once celebrated for his enchanting melodies, now faces the cacophony of his shattered reality. The young musician has uncovered the harsh truth of his parentage in the most public and devastating way. The incident at the Quatermain mansion, where he not only confronted his biological origins but also destroyed his beloved violin, marks a poignant chapter in his life. His flight from the mansion signifies more than just escapism, it's a metaphor for his internal struggle to redefine his identity. As Gio flees, Emma Scorpio Drake, a beacon of compassion in his storm, pursues him. Initially, Gio, overwhelmed by emotions and mistrust, mistakes her intentions, fearing control. However, Emma's heartfelt explanation that she wishes only to support him, to follow him into his new life, might just be the thread of hope he clings to. Together, they might embark on a journey of healing, with Emma providing the emotional anchor Gio desperately needs. Their story could evolve into a narrative of discovering lost identities and reclaiming broken dreams, with Emma's love as the catalyst for Joe's rebirth. Lulu Spencer's unintended chaos. Lulu Spencer, inadvertently the catalyst for Joe's crisis, now faces the repercussions of her actions. Her confrontation with Lois Cerullo, meant to be private, became the spark that ignited Joe's downfall. The once confident reporter now descends into panic, grappling with the unintended consequences of her words. Her relationship with Lois might take a hit, especially if Lois, known for her no-nonsense approach, pins the blame squarely on Lulu. Dante Falconeri, torn between his duty as a law enforcement officer and his love for Lulu, is thrust into a position where expectations of comfort and understanding are replaced with accusations and anger. This confrontation might be the tipping point for their relationship, pushing them towards a crucible of decision-making and potential reconciliation. Lulu's path to redemption could involve her taking accountability, perhaps leading to a newfound strength in her character, as she confronts the fallout not just for Gio, but for those around her. Michael Corinthos' power play. Amidst the personal turmoil, Michael Corinthos returns to Port Charles with a mix of familial warmth and a strategic mind. His joyous reunion with Wiley and Amelia provides a brief but poignant escape from the schemes brewing in his head. However, the call of power and the need for control in Port Charles beckons, leading him to strategize with Jason Morgan. Their meeting is likely to unfold plans that could reshape the town's power dynamics. Jason's hints at international dealings might awaken Willow take Corinthos to a new perspective of her husband, Drew Kane, potentially fracturing or enlightening their dynamic. Michael's subsequent request for assistance from Sasha Gilmore Corbin might involve her not only in his business maneuvers but also in helping to navigate the complex web around Drew's drugging investigation. This storyline could lead to a multi-layered exploration of power, loyalty, and the price of ambition in a town where everyone has a stake. Port Charles's legal labyrinth. Port Charles is also a stage for legal dramas, where Alexis Davis and Christina Corinthos Davis are ensnared in a web of accusations and blackmail. Christina's past might demand penance, necessitating a confession that could lead to time behind bars. This narrative arc could culminate in a dramatic courtroom scene, where alliances shift, and the truth prevails in a battle between justice and manipulation. Love amidst chaos. In a town where chaos often reigns, Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor's burgeoning relationship adds a touch of warmth and intimacy amidst the unfolding dramas. Their moments together might serve as a respite for viewers, offering a narrative of love's resilience in the face of turmoil. Next, we will learn about the heartbreaking anniversary of Johnny Wachter's passing, and how his final film project is now carrying his legacy into the spotlight. It has now been a year since Johnny Wachter's life was tragically cut short. A year since his courageous final moments made headlines, and a year in which friends, family, and fans have sought ways to honor a man remembered not only for his talent, but for his selfless bravery. On May 25, 2024, Wachter lost his life during an attempted theft, confronting individuals who were trying to steal the catalytic converter from his vehicle. He was only 37. As we mark this solemn anniversary, a powerful tribute emerges. Wachter's final film, Ciao Mama, is set to premiere at the 2025 Dances with Films Festival, a platform known for showcasing heartfelt, independent cinema. Filmed in 2022, Ciao Mama wasn't just another job for Wachter. It was a meaningful project that tapped into the themes he cherished most: family, love, and loyalty. Slated for screening on June 24 at the TCL Chinese Theaters in Hollywood, the film now takes on greater significance. It isn't just a performance, it's a farewell message. A preserved piece of his artistry that reminds audiences of the emotional depth and raw honesty Wachter brought to every role. Micah Jo Parker, Wachter's close friend and co-star in Ciao Mama, has been at the forefront of championing this film's inclusion in the festival. In an emotional interview with Fox 11, Parker emphasized that this screening is not just about cinema, it's about memory, healing, and respect. "It's really important to me, and his family, that his legacy lives on," Parker said. He described Ciao Mama as a film that mirrors the values Wachter lived by, noting that the story's emotional core is tightly woven with the same traits that made Wachter beloved: generosity, compassion, and unwavering loyalty. Wachter's final night alive encapsulated his character in the most tragic, yet heroic way possible. After completing a late shift at Level 8, a rooftop bar in downtown Los Angeles, he was walking to his car in the early morning hours with his colleague, Anita Joy. It was then that they encountered three individuals attempting to steal from his vehicle. Eyewitnesses and reports confirm that Wachter acted without hesitation, placing himself between Joy and the danger, ultimately taking the fatal bullet that was never meant for him. His actions saved a life. In Parker's words, "It's how he went out from this world, stepping in front of his friend to take a bullet." The loss of Wachter sparked an outpouring of grief across the entertainment industry and from loyal General Hospital fans who knew him best as Brando Corbin, the quiet yet resilient character he portrayed from 2020 to 2022. On screen, Brando was a man caught in the crossfire of Port Charles drama, ending with his own tragic fate at the hands of the hook killer, later revealed to be Heather Weber. Off-screen, Wachter carried none of the bitterness or cynicism that can so often plague actors in tough industries. Instead, he remained optimistic, focused, and driven by a genuine love for storytelling. In interviews following the incident, Parker expressed how deeply Wachter's loss continues to impact those who knew him. "Johnny was never a victim," he said. "He was a doer. He was a dreamer. He's right." Wachter was someone who leaned into life with both feet, someone who showed up for people, who threw himself into projects with integrity, and who never walked away from a challenge. That ethos permeates Ciao Mama, a film that now, unexpectedly, serves as a eulogy. The production of Ciao Mama was reportedly one of the more emotionally charged experiences of Wachter's career. He is said to have drawn heavily from personal experiences to shape his character, making the performance all the more authentic. Sources close to the production noted Wachter's intense preparation and how he insisted on emotionally anchoring his scenes in real-world connection. For those involved in the film, the upcoming screening isn't just a professional milestone, it's a memorial. In the years since his death, tributes have poured in across platforms. From emotional Instagram posts by co-stars to fan-made montages and candlelight vigils, the message is clear: Johnny Wachter left an indelible mark. His death also sparked conversations about urban crime and safety in Los Angeles, particularly surrounding catalytic converter thefts, which have seen a disturbing rise nationwide. In fact, some lawmakers have cited Wachter's story when advocating for stricter penalties for such crimes, underlining how his final act of courage continues to ripple outward, beyond the industry. But amid the sadness, Ciao Mama gives his loved ones and the world something to celebrate. The film offers a window into the kind of man Wachter was and the depth he was capable of reaching as an actor. More importantly, it gives us a chance to say goodbye on his terms. through his art, his passion, and his truth. As fans gather at TCL Cinemas in Hollywood this June, the premiere will be more than just another night on the red carpet. It will be a celebration of life, of art, and of heroism. It will remind viewers that even in the darkest endings, there can be a legacy of light. Johnny Wachter may no longer walk among us, but his spirit lives on. In the stories he told, in the lives he touched, and in the final film that now stands as a testament to all he was and all he stood for. Next, we will learn about the issue stirring up Port Charles as the return of a darker, vengeful Michael Corinthos signals the beginning of a devastating downfall for Drew Cain, one that might leave no Quartermaine untouched. The Nurses' Ball, a night typically filled with glamour, music, and heartfelt charity, quickly turned tense the moment Michael Corinthos stepped onto the scene. Having been away in Baden-Baden for several months, his sudden reappearance shocked everyone, especially Drew Cain, who was on the receiving end of a look so cold and cutting it could have frozen the red carpet. It wasn't just a glance, it was a warning. Michael had returned home with fire in his chest and an unsettled score scribbled across his expression. Michael's return wasn't spontaneous, it was strategic. Sources say he had been alerted to growing chaos back home by none other than Jason Morgan. Jason, concerned over Carly Spencer's impulsive custody maneuvers regarding Wiley and Amelia, had tried to intervene. When Carly pushed forward anyway, against his advice, Jason made the call to Michael. That single call may have triggered a tidal wave of destruction heading straight for Drew Cain. On the surface, Drew appeared to be thriving. His relationship with Nina Reeves was becoming more public, his media ventures were humming along, and he had positioned himself as a stable figure in the lives of Willow and the children. But underneath, secrets and lies festered. The turning point came when Michael, during a 6-hour flight back to Port Charles, stumbled across video footage of Drew and Willow. One clip showed them sharing a moment of intimacy backstage, another captured Drew and Nina arm in arm at the red carpet. Michael watched these over and over, stewing in quiet rage until the plane touched down. By the time Michael walked into the Nurses' Ball, he wasn't just angry, he was ready to wage war. Jason and Carly had both raised eyebrows earlier when Willow mentioned Michael had refused to see her overseas. That didn't align with the man they knew. Jason, ever the tactician, began piecing the puzzle together. He suspected that Willow may have been misled, manipulated into thinking Michael didn't want to see her. And now Michael suspects the same. Someone intercepted or distorted communication between him and Willow, and the finger now points squarely at Drew. What stings most for Michael is the betrayal of trust. He once considered Drew not only a family ally but a reliable business partner at Aurora Media. They had worked side by side to rebuild the company. But now, Michael sees Drew's true colors, and he's not alone. Even Curtis Ashford, who once collaborated with Drew on community initiatives, has begun distancing himself. Word is that Michael intends to meet with Curtis soon to discuss reclaiming his place in the corporate arena. They share a common enemy now, and Michael is done playing the nice guy. But his top priority isn't business, it's blood. Wiley and Amelia are at the center of a custody tug-of-war, and with Drew's influence in their lives, Michael no longer feels they're safe. That isn't paranoia, it's preparation. Because the more Michael learns, the darker Drew's past becomes. Jason, who's spent weeks digging into Drew's associations, reveals troubling news. Drew has been working closely with Jen Sidwell, a name that's long raised red flags for both Sonny and Jason. Sidwell is a suspected player in the recent bombing of Sonny Corinthos' penthouse, a brutal attack that nearly killed several family members. Now that Michael is aware, he's connecting the dots. Could Drew be tied to the bombing? Was it a twisted move to eliminate Michael as a romantic rival for Willow? Adding fuel to the fire, Brick, a longtime ally to Jason and Sonny, is brought in to investigate further. What Brick uncovers is damning. During Drew's service in the Navy, he was trained in handling munitions and explosives. Publicly, Drew wore the uniform of a hero. Privately, he had the skills to orchestrate something as devastating as a bombing. The facts begin aligning too cleanly. Drew's proximity to Sidwell. His motive. His military background. The picture is clear to Michael. Drew Cain didn't just go rogue, he went dangerous. Sonny, who had previously voiced intentions to step away from the darker side of his operations, is now holding off. He wants proof, concrete evidence to bring Drew down before stepping aside. Jason agrees. Michael, now fully awakened to the threat, is no longer content to watch from the sidelines. He's moving with purpose, recalibrating his role in the family and in Port Charles. He's not stepping into Sonny's business, he's rewriting the rules entirely. This new, darker Michael isn't about emotion, he's about strategy. He's already laid out protection protocols for Wiley and Amelia. He's pulled away from old partnerships. And he's begun constructing a campaign to expose Drew not just to the Corinthos inner circle, but to the entire town. As for Drew, he may sense the walls closing in, but he doesn't yet know just how fast they're falling. Nina, caught in the crossfire of personal loyalty and moral clarity, may be forced to choose between the man she loves and the truth that's unraveling. With Michael, Jason, and Sonny forming a united front, it's only a matter of time before Drew's secrets are dragged into the daylight. And when that happens, the fallout will be seismic. Friendships will fracture. Business alliances will crumble. And the Quartermain legacy, already scarred by years of scandal, may suffer a blow from which it can't recover. So, buckle in. Because what's coming isn't just revenge, it's retribution, calculated and cold. Michael Corinthos has returned, and this time, he's not just protecting his family, he's dismantling anyone who threatens it. Stay with us here on ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel as we track every move, reveal every secret, and bring you the next explosive chapter in this unfolding war. The battle lines are drawn, and Port Charles will never be the same.